Welcome back to Tech Pulse, your go-to show where we break down the latest breakthroughs in science and technology, making them not just digestible, but actually exciting. I'm your host, Zaper.
And I'm Puck. Think of me as your front row seat to curiosity. I'll be asking the sharp questions, challenging the data, and, let's be honest, poking holes where things don't add up. Oh, and hey, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this with a friend who geeks out about science, health, and everything in between.
You're going to want them tuned in for this one, because today's headline is disturbing. Consumer Reports has just released a bombshell investigation, and it turns out the protein shake you thought was clean fuel might be loaded with lead.
Yup, you heard that right. Lead. Not metaphorical metal energy, but actual toxic heavy metal, the kind you don't want anywhere near your breakfast.
Let's unpack this. Consumer Reports tested 23 popular protein powders and shakes. And here's the jaw dropper. Over 2/3 of them had lead levels exceeding what experts consider safe for daily use.
That's insane. And what's worse, it's getting worse. The contamination levels have actually increased since Consumer Reports ran a similar test 15 years ago.
2 products were flagged as avoid at all costs. Naked Nutrition's vegan mass gainer with a mind-blowing 7.7 micrograms of lead per serving, and Huel's Black Edition clocking in at 6.3 micrograms. To put that in perspective, Consumer Reports sets the safety threshold at 0.5 micrograms per day. That means these products exceed it by more than 1,200 to 1,600%.
That's not just a red flag, that's a whole flashing billboard.
Exactly. And it doesn't stop there. The investigation also uncovered cadmium and arsenic in several samples. Huel's Black Edition had 9.2 micrograms of cadmium per serving, double the safe limit. And get this, Optimum Nutrition's Serious Mass whey powder contained 8.5 micrograms of inorganic arsenic.
So basically, we're drinking a periodic table smoothie.
Interestingly, the report found that plant-based protein powders had on average 9 times more lead than dairy-based whey products.
That's wild, considering plant-based is usually marketed as the clean and eco-friendly option. But it makes sense. Plants absorb heavy metals from soil, especially when grown in contaminated regions.
Right, and pea protein, one of the most common bases for vegan powders, was the main offender. Now, to be fair, companies didn't just sit silent. Huel's head of nutrition, Rebecca Williams, said their products comply fully with international food safety regulations and that trace amounts of lead occur naturally.
And Naked Nutrition claims they already source from suppliers who test for heavy metals and that they've now ordered third-party tests to verify safety. But here's the kicker. Since the FDA doesn't regulate supplements like prescription drugs, there's no federal limit on heavy metal content in protein powders. That's a massive regulatory gap.
Exactly. And Consumer Reports has now launched a petition urging the FDA to set enforceable limits. Brian Ronholm, their director of food policy, said it best. No one should have to worry that their protein shake could expose them to dangerous levels of lead.
Couldn't agree more. Most Americans already get enough protein from food anyway, so this obsession with supplements might be doing more harm than good.
All right, listeners, now that we've laid out the facts, you know what time it is.
Oh yeah, our favorite part of Tech Pulse. The gloves come off, metaphorically, and the opinions come out.
We're diving straight into our own takes. Expect heat, expect passion, but always expect respect. Look, I'll say it. I think the protein supplement industry has gotten lazy. These companies rake in billions selling health dreams in shiny tubs, and yet many can't guarantee basic safety. Until there's real regulation, consumers are guinea pigs.
I get your point, but hold on. Completely dismissing protein powders isn't fair either. Not everyone has access to high-protein whole foods, especially athletes, vegans, or people with dietary restrictions. The real issue is inconsistent testing, not the existence of supplements themselves.
But that's exactly the trap. They sell clean nutrition while hiding behind loopholes. Trace amounts of lead might sound fine on paper, but when you're drinking this daily, it adds up.
Sure, but banning or fear-mongering isn't the answer.